Music is what makes the world go around. Whether it's a child picking up an instrument for the first time, or discovering your new favorite song on the radio, or turning music into a career, it is something that connects us all. Welcome to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced on the campus of Madonna University. I'm Chris Benson, and today we're shining a spotlight on a place that brings music to life. It's more than just a shop. It's where beginners, pros, and dreamers all come together. Our guest today is Nick Marocco from Rock City Music, and they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary. We're so excited to have them in Livonia. So Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and happy 10-year anniversary.
Thank you. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
I bet. So when did music start for you? How did you and music get together?
Yeah, day one for me. I've been tinkering with instruments my entire life. My dad was a great guitar player, played all the time, and he was constantly listening to music, specifically the Beatles and Kiss, and that kind of put me on my path. I started with guitar, and then I moved to drums. I'm a professional drummer.
Oh, excellent.
So I've been surrounded by it as long as I can remember.
So what, do you remember going to the music, like a music shop or music shops when you were younger, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, I absolutely was. I was going to shops all the time with my dad, and overwhelming in some ways, but very exciting in others. You know, walls and walls of instruments and guitars and drums. I was always the guy beating on the drums at 5 years old in the room, really loud and annoying all the customers.
When did you get your first drum set?
Oh, I was 6.
Oh my gosh. And so in the basement,
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm sure the neighbors loved it?
Oh yeah, they were huge fans. They still come to shows now, actually.
Excellent.
But yeah, obnoxious to a point, and then it turns into music, I feel like.
So this started as in your young years, okay? And how did you make this transition to it becoming a career and life and the founder of the store?
So when I was a teenager, I was working in a restaurant. My mom has been a bartender my entire life, and I was working in a restaurant alongside her, and I was just not happy, just miserable. But I wanted to work. I'm a hard worker, and I was like, I wish I could work at a music store. And I had a family friend that owned a small, independently owned music store, and I wanted a job there, and he didn't have a lot of money to be able to hire people, but he liked me, and he knew my dad for a long time, so he said, I can give you 1 day a week. And I remember my mom was like, that's not a job. 1 day a week is not a job. And so I took my Saturday there, and then when I graduated, my 1 day went from 3 days.
Okay.
And then eventually, the guy I worked for, he wanted to retire, and I was 20 at the time, and I didn't want to do anything else. So I said, well, what if I bought the store? What if I took it over? And he kind of said, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? And I said, yeah, I want to do it. So with the help of my grandfather and my dad, I bought the music store, our first location, ran that for 5 years, and then I just decided I had tried a lot of stuff in our first location, more new things and more records, and it was just growing, and I couldn't really do what it was I was seeing in my head in the location we were in. I needed something bigger. I wanted to grow the lessons. I wanted to just make it a bigger thing. So we moved to Livonia in 2015 and rebranded as Rock City Music Company, and here we are today, 2025, and it's been like this ever since.
Wow, haven't looked back, huh?
No, you can't. I don't think you can. You can't. If you look back, then you're not moving forward.
Right. So what makes Rock City Music different or unique?
Well, I think there's a few things that make us different and unique because it's multifaceted in the sense of that we have a full service department, so we're doing guitar and amp repair, deep lesson program. So we're teaching instruments, piano, drums, guitar, bass, banjo, mandolin, vocals to students of all ages.
Wow.
And then we have new and used gear, and then
great.
new and used records, and we have pinball machines, and we have t-shirts, and we have posters, and it's basically, I tell people all the time, it's like a big example of what goes on in my head. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
There's drums there, all of that stuff. So I just think that we're a music mecca for anybody who loves music, whether you play or you don't. So it's not just an instrument store. It's a little bit of everything.
Wow. And when I walk into the store, like visually, just talk me through, like what do I see happening in front
You're
of me?
going to see a big room jammed with equipment.
I love it.
Records over here to the right, deep record selection, variety of genres, like I said, new and used, and then 2 big walls of electric guitars. Lesson rooms to the left, or pinball machines to the hard left. And then we have a whole room of acoustic guitars as well. And then we have a studio in the back as well.
So I have to ask about the pinball machines.
Yes.
I am a fan of pinball.
Yes.
What is your favorite machine that you have or that you've had?
Okay, so it's got to be, even though the functionality isn't what you see nowadays, it's got to be the 1978 Bally Kiss machine.
Oh, of course it's the Kiss
Yes.
machine. Okay, what is it about the machine that is just chef's kiss?
Okay, so there was a business I used to go into all the time with my dad when I was a young kid that's still around. I think they're celebrating 50 years. 45 years, something like
Wow.
that. Rock of Ages
Oh,
in Garden
yeah.
City.
Yes.
There was a Kiss pinball machine in
There
there.
it is.
And I used to just look at it in awe every time I went in there. So when I found one and was able to put one in the store, it was a huge day for me. That machine isn't in the store anymore. Now it's in my office.
Okay,
We
makes
have the new
sense.
Kiss machine, but I would say that's got to be my favorite one of all time.
So you literally like had a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
Like your career is a dream come true.
Yes.
Do you realize that when you walk in every
No.
day?
No, in fact, my family is always saying to me, look at what you've accomplished and look at the things you've been able to do. And it is cool. I always go, wow, yeah, I find it ironic, you know, like, wow, I used to be this guy and now I'm this guy, you know. But I never think about it as a dream come true. I'm working, you know, and I'm just trying to make it the best it can be.
And I have a feeling you've got a lot of ideas for what's on the horizon.
Yes.
So
I'm
stay
an
tuned.
idea man,
I
yes.
had a feeling about that. Well, we already have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll hear much more about Rock City music from Nick. So stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson, and we're continuing our conversation with Nick, the founder of Rock City Music, right here in Livonia. So I know you have all different kinds of things in the store, all different kinds of gear, these kind of things. You brought a couple things with you today. The question I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to put you on the spot, is there something in the store that's like your favorite?
Ooh, that is
thing?
a tough one. I'm an avid record collector, so
Okay.
I'm probably I'm always most excited when we get a bunch of used records
Okay.
in, because I want to be the guy that goes through them.
To like paw through and to check them out?
There's a couple guitars. This Reverend guitar that we brought here is one of my favorites. So
Why?
I love how it looks.
Okay, it is.
It plays amazing too, but like aesthetically, it's just amazing.
I have to say, when you brought these in and we're setting them up, I mean, they're gleaming, and I have never played a guitar. I've tried. Well, I mean, I've held it, but I've never played it fluently. I know you said we can help you with that,
Yes.
but just to see all these things that are in the store, it sounds like it's like a candy store for
Yes,
kids, right?
absolutely.
Right? And I understand you brought some pictures to show us too,
Yes.
so we could get some visuals of the store. I know you're just down the street, but we want people to be able to take a look at that
Yeah.
too. So I know they're going to bring those up on the screen for us, and we're just going to be talk through. Look at all these guitars. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So this is the guitar wall.
This is the acoustic guitar room.
Oh.
So what you see there is an assortment of guitars from the Taylor Guitar Company, USA company. They just celebrated 50 years last year as a company.
Awesome.
So a variety of stuff there, from affordable beginner acoustic guitars from Taylor all the way up to handmade one-off custom shop pieces. We carry everything in between. Beautiful, beautiful pieces.
Oh, look at that.
Wall of basses, wall
Nice.
O bass. Again, Fender, Reverend, Ibanez, Jackson, a little bit of everything on the bass side of things.
Wow. Oh, awesome.
So this is what you were asking a second ago,
Yeah.
what you'd see when you walk in. So this is right to the left of our main entrance. Effects pedals in the case. You see the main guitar wall to the right there. Hard right next to that is where all the records are. And then to the left is our acoustic room.
Oh.
So this is a shot that our social media e-commerce manager took, and I just love this picture. So the guitar I was just talking about saying I love, this is the other version of the guitar, different color. So
Wow.
Mulberry Mist. We did this for Valentine's Day, actually.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
Yes, that's a great guitar. Same with this here.
Wow.
Part of our Valentine's Day promotion.
You guys are good with the social media there.
Silas does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And this is the record section. Well,
love
part
this.
of it. This is about 30% of it. We also do have used CDs and cassettes as well. So that's kind of its own area to the store.
Yeah, yeah. Records have just, again, I'm in my 50s, and that was like the media at the time, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, when I see records, I feel very nostalgic. What is it about records that they have been like, they're still here, they're
Yes.
collectible now, they're very popular now? What is it?
I have two theories on
Okay.
that. But my biggest one is, first of all, for me, I've been surrounded by it my whole life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to go to record stores with my dad, and I would be
Yeah.
digging on my knees looking for, old stuff that I didn't have or I wanted a vinyl copy of. So myself, I've got almost 6,000 records.
6,000.
6,000. That's not a exaggeration. 6,000. But people ask me all the time why I think the vinyl resurgence happened, and I actually think it's because younger people have grown up without a physical medium for music. They grew up with an iPod or streaming, and there is a special experience when you take a record out of a jacket and
Yes.
you put it on the turntable and you drop the needle on it. There's nothing like that as far as I'm concerned. So I think no matter what age you are, you love that experience. It's very convenient to have everything on your phone, but there's something so great about holding something like this in your hands and being able to look at that artwork and read the liner notes and read the track list. And I think it makes you focus more.
Yeah.
So I think it's just attracted people, whether it's a nostalgia thing because you grew up with it or because it's something new and exciting. I think that's what drives people to it.
I'm glad you mentioned the liner notes. I have to say, if you know, it's a great observation that, you know, when you're getting your music digitally, it's there, it's great, it's portable. But there's nothing like, I can remember getting an album or a cassette and like opening it up, like looking at the artwork that had been done with it. The lyrics were there. Who are they saying thank you to? You know, and like, oh, do I know the people they're saying thank you to? You know, and so that's just an experience. So that's a really good observation about why there's been a resurgence of it.
Absolutely. And a lot of, especially the classic albums that we still sell every week, Abbey Road, every week, Dark Side of the Moon, every week. You know, those albums, including the jackets, were designed as a whole piece to take in. So I think it's very important to go through the jackets, read the liner notes and everything.
How important is a store like Rock City Music to the local music community?
I feel it's very important because it's a place where people can come in and they can find great new music. They can get started with an instrument or get a new one if they've been a long-time player. But the biggest thing is it's its own community.
Okay.
So we see students that start as beginners and they get better and better, and then they start forming bands with other people in the lesson program, and then you see them kind of grow and evolve as musicians over the course of them being there. And I think that's the most important thing about a music store, is that it's a place where you can go and feel like you're with like-minded people. You know, almost like going to the library. You know, like you go to the library, everyone there likes to read.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And have you been able to see, you've probably seen quite a few people who've just started and they're like, I'd like to do this, and now they're living the dream, or they're enjoying a pastime or a hobby that is so meaningful to them. So that's got to feel good.
It feels great. Yeah, we see students get started and then now they're out gigging professionally. You see their hair start to grow and kind of, you know, it's they got bit, you know.
Yes. I imagine they bring back to the store like, hey, we're playing here. Can you talk? Awesome.
Yeah, we have a bulletin board so you can advertise your shows and your gigs.
Get on the board.
Yes.
Well, we have to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more music with Nick. Don't go away.
I want to see the world.
When you pick up a book,
I used to read every night to all the younger kids,
and let your imagination break free, you won't believe how much fun it can be.
Let down your helmet!
Experience a world of adventure, excitement, and endless possibilities. Get tangled up in a good book. Explore new worlds. Read. Visit read.gov today.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson, and we are here today with Nick talking about all the wonder that is Rock City music.
Yes.
And I want to talk about the things we have in front of us today. So talk to me about, how about this album first, and then we'll talk about that one. So what do I have here?
This is a brand new release. This just came out last week. This is Rattle, Ramble, and Roll, the best of Blackberry Smoke.
Oh, wow.
Blackberry Smoke did an in-store performance in our store last week. Packed house, sold out. It's the third time they've been there. So these copies of the record that we have at Rock City are signed by the entire band.
Oh,
limited
fantastic.
quantities there. And then this one here.
Oh, yeah.
This was from the second time we hosted Detroit legend Alice Cooper. We had Alice do two in-stores, two autograph signings with us. Geddy Lee from Rush.
Yeah.
Bruce Kulick from Kiss, Butch Walker, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we've done about 65 in-store events in our 10-year history. So
in 10 years, you've done 65.
Yes.
Wow. What is it like having these, like I saw Bootsy Collins on your
Yes.
website, which was very exciting.
Yeah, Bootsy was just there.
I
Yeah.
bet that was incredible.
They're
So
amazing,
what is
yeah.
it like having these people in the store? I mean, you idolize them,
Yes.
and then there they are right in front of you, sitting like a couple feet away.
It's pretty incredible. It's humbling
Yeah.
in some cases. You know, I think about with Alice. You know, that was the second concert I was ever at. I was 6 years old. And there was Alice on stage, and now he's sitting in my office. It's kind of crazy. But what you find is that they're all very, very nice people.
Yeah.
They're all very grateful for the support they receive from their fans. And you usually get to exchange some good stories or memories with them. So it's a pretty amazing thing. You know, all the folks I just listed are heroes of mine. Like you brought up Bootsy, and he's an icon.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy when Bootsy Collins is like, "Hey Nick, thanks so much for having me." You know, it's like, "Well, thanks for coming." You know,
I know.
It's a super important thing of the overall view of what we do of Rock City, trying to bring events and legends to our community.
Yeah.
But for myself, it's surreal. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
You know, I've been able to shake hands with a lot of people that have meant a lot to me. So.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
And I imagine it's very inspiring for, musicians who are just getting started, who come in and they're like, oh my gosh, this is a real person.
Yes.
You know, do they have, when you do the in-store, like, what is that like? Can they ask questions, or what happens?
It really depends on the event itself. So like somebody like Alice, there's a lot of people that want to meet Alice Cooper. So that's just people come through, they say hello, Alice signs their record, and off they go. We've done what we call clinics with people like Gary Holt from Slayer and Nita Strauss that plays with Alice Cooper, where it's more of a demonstration, and they talk about, this is how I play this part in this song, and this is how the solo goes. And there's a little bit more crowd interaction with things like that. And then performance stuff, like I just mentioned with Blackberry Smoke, that was a full band acoustic performance. So the crowd was there to see them play.
Oh,
So
wow.
it just really depends on what we're doing, what the interaction is.
Yeah, and you chose 4 guitars here today, so you brought them there, and we're glad. They look so awesome. So tell me why you chose these 4. What is it about these 4?
Well, I wanted to show an assortment of the things that we carry in the store. So like I mentioned, it is new and used equipment. So there is 2 Taylor acoustics here. One is used, although you wouldn't be able to tell. It's
they look
very
great.
clean. But yeah, Taylor Gold Label Series all the way to the, it's our left. Yeah. They're right.
Yeah.
That's a brand new model from Taylor this year, made in the USA, high quality parts.
Wow.
Just a beautiful, beautiful guitar, all handmade. The next thing is a Taylor 414 CE. Again, this is a made in USA guitar, cut away with electronics. So this lends itself to anything. You can strum chords, you can finger pick, you can plug it in, you can do gigs with it. Both come with cases. Next to that is a Paul Reed Smith S2 semi-hollow. So semi-hollow means it's got a chamber in there, so you can play it plugged in or not plugged in. Again, made in USA. I actually got to see these guitars being made right in front of my eyes. I went to the factory in Maryland, which was quite an experience. That, I believe the color is Fireburst Red. I hope they don't get mad at me if I got the color wrong.
It's beautiful.
But beautiful, beautiful guitar. And then finally, all the way to my right is the Reverend Ryan M signature model. Ryan is the guitar player in a band called Hot Mulligan that is from Michigan, and they are blowing up right now.
Oh, wow.
So Ryan has a signature model, and his guitar playing contemporary Chris Freeman in the band also has a signature Reverend model. We are the only dealer in Southeast Michigan for Reverend guitars, and they actually started in East Point, Michigan.
Oh,
so
how cool.
it's kind of come full circle, but they're great friends of ours and very supportive of the store, and I love, love, love their guitars.
Yeah.
And while they've grown in popularity, they're sort of still the new kid on the block,
Yeah.
pun intended. They've been around coming up on 30 years, but when you look at some of these other companies that are 50 years, 70 years, 150 years, when you talk about somebody like Martin, they're kind of new to the game. So I always love putting these guitars in people's hands and getting them to try them.
Well, and I love whenever we've got someone from the Michigan area that we can promote and, you know, and encourage. I mean, that's really awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so 10-year anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's next? Like, what do you see for the future? Like, what are we going to be talking about on the 20th year anniversary?
It's so hard to comprehend because I, like I said at the beginning of this, I never would have imagined it's been 10 years. So thinking in terms of 20 years is crazy. I just hope to keep growing what we're doing and perfecting what we're doing. I want to grow the lesson program. I want to expand our product selection. I want to do more in-store events. You know, we're working on a couple of things right now that would be, if we pull them off, they're legendary, epic. Yeah, especially for me personally. So I try and keep my focus on things like that, but I am a big believer in day-to-day. I try not to get too far ahead of myself because a lot of what I've gratefully been able to do has been as it comes.
Awesome.
So I'm not a big planner.
Well, we can't wait to see what the future holds. Thank you, Nick, so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been great speaking with you.
Yeah, wonderful. And thank you for watching all these wonderful things that happen in the Mitten State. We'll see you next time on Celebrate Michigan.